But what is the difference between app intents and accessibility labels?
You are putting me on the spot then. Okay, so accessibility labels are things like, well, let's say you have a button and you know it's a button because it's a button type, and but maybe the label is, I'm trying to think, maybe the text on the button, or maybe the button isn't got a text. It's not just a text button. Maybe it's like a button where you put an image on there, or maybe you drew some kind of thing, or have an image and another little thing. And it might not be, it might be real obvious to a human looking at it what the point of it is. Like,
Could there be an SF symbol on the button?
there could be an SF symbol on the button. And I think the SF symbols are helpful that way. But like, for example, if you used one that's like a square,
Mm-hmm.
right? That could be a stop button, but it doesn't say the word stop. And so that's the thing where you could put an accessibility label on it saying stop button.
Got it.
You might put the word stop with the label with the square. Maybe the user might only see the square, but there would be this sort of hidden underneath. There's like a little piece of data with that button that says, oh, this button is a stop button.
Got it. Okay.
To stop whatever you're doing, playback or something. So that's like one case where you might use it. And, the case I mentioned earlier was like, if you have like a label or an image that's clickable, because you used, let's say, an on tap gesture, gesture in SwiftUI. An on tap gesture in SwiftUI isn't the same as having a button. And I recommend you try not to use that if you can use a button.
Now let's go back to that button with the square. So if we put an app intent on that button,
so no, app intent, you basically declare things your app can do. Like you can say, hey, let's say you have, I don't know, let's say you have a app that files your taxes, and
okay,
you can say
something easy.
Yeah, something really easy. And you could have like you might have an app intent to, include a note to yourself for next year's taxes.
Okay.
So for example, there might be an interface. You might go in the app and be able to say, oh, include a note, add a note for next year. Okay, great. Click add a note, type in something, hit save. That's the normal way. The app intent, think of that as anything you can do with, what's the automation thing we can use on our phone? What's it called, Dan?
Like a quick
shortcuts, like shortcuts.
Shortcuts. Thank you.
Yeah, like you might be able to have a thing if you set up an app intent to say, okay, declare add a note for next year's taxes, let's say, or something like that, and it takes an input of a string, which is the note text. Maybe that's all it takes. It's just that one thing, and maybe it gives you no output back, but it could give you output back. But you declare that in a plist. I think you still do it in a plist, maybe. I don't know. I'm probably wrong on that. You declare it anyway in your app, and it's part of your app bundle, and it's like sort of metadata that goes along with it. So this operating system knows that, Dan's tax advisor app, that it has this ability that you can use from the outside called add a note. And so then you could do things like put it in your shortcut to say, hey, whenever you have a thing in your shortcuts so that you can run and you can tell Siri, hey, add a note to my tax advisor app for taxes next year.
I see.
But you could easily also say, if you had an AI, like a smarter than the current Siri AI, you could say, hey, AI thing, add a note to my tax thing. Anytime I'm talking about my business and money, and I might say add a note, just add it to my thing through this tax app, and it might know how to do that, because that would be an exposed feature. It'd say, okay, hold on, what's that tax app? Oh yeah, there's the app. Found the app. Okay, found the add a thing. Great, add a note. So now it knows how to do that, and that would be exposed to the LLM as a tool, like
So
a
this
tool
is
call.
more